Hello. So tonight I had a dream about a homeless guy, and it got sexual, but not with the guy, with his daughter actually. So I'm gonna get to that. But first, I have to say, turns out the myth of alcohol being the cause of me having dreams is officially busted, I guess, because yesterday I didn't drink anything. In fact, I haven't consumed any alcohol for a while, and I official well since Thursday, I guess, but and I had a very vivid dream, so I guess it has nothing to do with it. Who knows? Anyway, but the dream I had is actually really cool. Well, I mean, it's funny. So to start off, I think it took place somewhere in Ukraine. That's my feeling. It was winter. It was very cold. There was snow everywhere. And for some reason, I was exiting my house, and I lived in some sort of like a um, one of these Soviet 6-story houses. Like built in the '60s, very depressing. I don't know why, but I have lived in a house like that, but not in a 6-story house. Anyway, I was kind of standing in the middle of nowhere. I was standing on a hill, and from that hill, you could see a very beautiful landscape. Um, Gorgeous rolling hills with a blue pine forest on the horizon. Um, Maybe a little brook, a little rivulet running through the landscape. It was covered with snow, and it was sunrise. I definitely remember that it was sunrise, and the sky was blue and purple and pink and orange. It was gorgeous, absolutely beautiful dream. Um, so I was exiting my this apartment block where I lived, and I had to go through a little gate, which was weird. It was like I wasn't exiting the house. I was like going through the inner yard, and there was this random gate in the middle of nothing, but there was no fence. But so just a random door, uh, I guess, a little piece of brick wall, and a door in it. And as I was exiting it, I opened the door, and I accidentally hit a homeless guy, I think, who was sleeping next to this door. Or maybe I stepped on him or something. Anyway, I did something that caused him to wake up. I felt kind of bad because it was very early in the morning. I think it was it was sunrise in winter. Well, I guess sunrise is kind of late in winter, but in my mind, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. So maybe actually it wasn't that early. But anyway, I woke the guy up, and he was understandably very upset with me for doing that. Um, like how homeless people are. He started screaming, "Rah, rah," this, and I think he grabbed me by my clothes. I think he grabbed my leg or my jacket or something that caused me to stay with him. One moment. Um, so he grabs me by the leg, and I sit down on the floor next to him, like in the snow. And the guy is really poor. Like he's literally sleeping on the snow-covered ground. It's very cold. He is wearing like a winter jacket though, but still, I sit down next to him, and I think I've already forgotten a lot of what was happening, like what we talked about and so on. But long story short, like he tells me about his life, about how bad it is for him, and he starts asking me uh, for a couple of coins, like a couple of euro coins, and his daughter was next to him, And suddenly his daughter was there, and she's like a young woman, but I'll get to that later. And I I feel really bad for the guy suddenly, and so I decide to give him some money. I pull my wallet out, um, and I give him like all the cash that I had on me, which was like 50 euros. So I give him like, he asked only for a couple of euros in coins, but I give him like everything I had. I give him like 50 euros. I suddenly felt like, man, I gotta help this guy. And I had like a sort of a budget for, for donating money or something, or for giving to the poor or whatever. So I was like, yeah, might as well spend it here. Um, so I gave him like 50 euros that I had in my wallet, and he obviously became very happy. Even though I don't know, in my head, 50 euros is not that much. That it's not that much money. Like, you can buy some food for it for sure for a couple of days, but you couldn't like rent an apartment or something, or it wouldn't fix the housing situation for this guy. So it wasn't like I was saving his life or anything. It was really not that much. Um, so, but he becomes super happy, obviously, and I think he tells his daughter to go with me, help me with something, like carry the bags or whatever. I don't know, or help me wash the dishes. I think that was it. That might have been it. One second. Now, let me show you a cool trick. I don't know if it's gonna work. Let me have a try. Isn't that cool? I think it looks cooler, but I mean, it's cooler when you do it with like cigarettes, because this is really easy. But but A, I don't really like cigarettes. B, I don't really even consume nicotine that much. Only occasionally when I'm making a video and I want to look cool and show off my cool tricks. Yeah, and it's very difficult if you do it like outside and there's wind. It becomes very difficult. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the daughter. So she goes with me, and now I'm gonna describe this woman. She did not look very homeless. Like, she looked kind of well groomed. She had short, dark hair. She was wearing a white winter jacket. And the homeless guy obviously looked horrible, like like how homeless people look, long beard, dirty, smells like alcohol and so on. But she was nice. And the thing about her is that she was insanely tall. Like, I want to say, well, she was wearing high heels also, some kind of tall shoes. And when she was wearing those shoes, she was taller than me. And I'm kind of really tall. I'm almost 2 meters tall. So that girl was even taller than me when wearing high heels. So I walk behind her, and I think we teleport into my apartment or something, which I don't recognize. It was like an imaginary apartment. It's not actually where I live. And she's walking, and I'm walking behind her, and I realize, wow, this girl is really, really tall. Suddenly her shoes disappear, and she becomes a little shorter than me, so I guess she was like this tall until here. So, shorter than me, but still very, very tall for a woman. And she's very nice and very well disposed towards me. And she starts washing my dishes or something. And then suddenly it turns sexual, because I noticed that she has absolutely massive breasts, like gigantic, like really big and heavy. And she's like and she's like, "Hey, look at this." Well, she was wearing clothes. She's not naked, and she like picks them up and pushes them up like this, like with her both of her hands, and I'm like, you know, and and then I think she offered me to touch them, or she wanted to have sex with me. Not sure, but anyway, the dream ended after that. I did not see it to conclusion. Uh, honestly, like for real. I think the dream switched to something else, and I don't remember what was my reaction to her, because I think it was a honestly, it was like a 50-50 chance between like, like, whoa, I'm, no, thank you, um, and like, yes. Uh, I honestly don't remember what my thoughts were. I think it was like 50-50 in my head, but then the dream really just switched to something else. And after this, I do not remember anything. So yeah, a fun little dream. Uh, oh man, the landscape and the sky was so beautiful, like absolutely gorgeous. I wish I could see something like that in real life. I loved it. I really loved it. I hope the guy is okay. I mean, poor guy, he was sleeping on the floor in winter, outside. I was sleeping on the ground, I mean. Unbelievable. What I like about the Netherlands is that there are no homeless people here. Like, none at all. No homeless people, no beggars. Because, well, first of all, um, everything is provided for them. So if you have nowhere to live, if you have nowhere to stay, it is very easy to get to find an accommodation, a government provided accommodation. It's obviously not going to be a luxury apartment, but still you will have somewhere to sleep. And a lot of those places, well, they're good, and they're also, it's also kind of illegal to sleep on the street. And well, to be a homeless person or to beg on the street is also, I think, not allowed. Basically, um, if you are very poor and if you don't have a house, you will have everything provided for you and you will be cared for. And they really make sure that there are no people, no homeless people, and no beggars on the street. So if you see people who are begging here, it's not because they really have to do it, they have no other choice. It's actually because they just find it fun to lead that sort of life. And there were a couple of famous stories about like millionaires becoming disillusioned with their life and actually, like, for real, becoming beggars, like giving all their money away uh, and starting a new life as a homeless person or as a beggar. Apparently, people find meaning in that, and like there are multiple stories like that I've heard. Crazy, really crazy. Oh, update on the Monster Saga. Apparently, it really is impossible to find it anywhere. In, like, at least not in big supermarkets. I was in Amsterdam yesterday in another supermarket, and they said, like, yeah, we don't carry them anymore. It's gonna be like this forever, which is very disappointing. But then I bought a couple of cans in like a little tourist shop where they scam tourists by selling them fake like fake weed brownies, and they also sell a lot of like stuff that you I say fake because they actually don't contain any THC in them, but tourists don't know and they buy them anyway. um, and they also sell like a bunch of snacks and so on, things you would want if you get munchies, at an insanely high price. And I went, I saw they had Monster Energy, so I bought a couple of cans. And the stupid thing about it is that I paid like €4 per can, which is just insane. Well, I picked them up. I went to the counter, and she scanned everything, and she, only when she told me, to pay with my card, I saw that was like 80 euros for 2 cans. And then by that point, it was already kind of too late. I had to go catch the train, and so on. So yeah, cool dream. Cool dream. Yeah, I hope those people are doing fine. Final decision. I'm not going to take advantage of a homeless woman. Irregardless of what she thinks about it, I'm going to be a responsible person, and I'm going to wish her all the best of luck, and go on with my life. So, yeah, bye.